Alright, so I just got done watching Halloween 2018, and I have to say that I really enjoyed that. That was pretty cool. There was a lot of things in this movie that I really did appreciate. Um, Overall, I would say it's definitely a positive experience, and oh, I really hope they make more of these because excuse me, probably is the best sequel since the original Halloween 2. And this movie does ignore Halloween 2 from, I think it was 1981. And I don't know. There was some really cool throwback stuff in it. I like the way that they had the kids trick or treating that had the mask from the Skeleton the Witch and the Jack o' Lantern from Season of the Witch. That was really cool. I have done everything I can to avoid spoilers on this movie, and it's actually a work night, and I decided to come on and watch it because I want to watch other people's opinions and stuff on it, but I didn't want to ruin it for myself. I'm a huge Halloween fan. I've been watching Halloween movies since I was young, and heck, I was my mom, I think, is the one that got me into them when I was really young. And Michael Myers has always been like my favorite, like, monster villain or whatever you want to call it. So I made a couple videos about when I first learned about this and some production stuff, and then I kind of quit because I didn't keep up with it as much. But now I am so glad this movie came out, and I'm glad I got to see it in the movie theater. It was it's not the way that I expected it to go, and I think that's a good thing. It just seems like, I don't know, the only thing that I think I kind of have a problem with is that they chose the time of year to move him to the other place. I think that's a little too convenient. Like, maybe it should have been they thought he died in the bus crash, and then it was like 5 months later was Halloween. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's nitpicking, but it just seems a little too convenient. And the way that they played Lori off to be like she's that crazy and her daughter just don't understand, I kind of thought that got a little old here and there. But overall, I mean, I thought the movie did what it was supposed to do. It didn't have to be over gory. It didn't have to do the normal teenagers having sex and everybody dies thing. Like, this was to progress a story. And the way that they did that in this movie, to actually have the some type of 40 years later for the Michael Myers and the Laurie Strode character, I thought that they did like really well. It's crazy because in parts of this movie, it seems like Laurie's the one that's like the Michael Myers character from like the original one. Like, she's got the upper hand and she's stalking him. And I thought that was really great. Like, because like, if you really see what she's done to that house, like, that literally would be like 30, maybe 30 plus years of having to work on this stuff and buy this stuff and rig this house to where you go into a room, you clear it, you make sure it's clean, you hit the button, the steel gate comes down, and then he or you have nowhere else to hide. So eventually you get to a point where you're both in the same room together. The only thing I could think of that could have made that a little bit better is motion sensors in every room after you turn all the lights off. Like, maybe like when she come back up the stairs, there's a button to press that would turn on motion lights so you'd know which room that they possibly did go into. But again, I mean, you got to build the suspense somehow, and it is a horror movie, if there is such thing as a horror movie in 2018. To me, most ideas have been overplayed, and I think the fact that they made it more about her obsession with wanting him, like, instead of her praying that he never gets out, she spent the last 40 years praying he does, so that all of her work could come to a head and that she could actually do what she's been wanting to do. Like, they make her seem like she's crazy obsessed, but technically, I don't think that. I think that she did. Um, I, I, I could see how her character from the original 1978 Halloween could turn into that character that they showed in this movie. It does make sense. Like they said, 2 failed marriages. She lost custody of her daughter. And I'm not positive how she gets the money to do all this over time. Maybe from interviews in the past, maybe she had a book deal, I don't know. But, I'm going to have to take a little bit of time and think more on the movie. I am still just sitting in the parking lot in my car. And I got to kind of let some of it soak in, because the way it ended, I was like, this is kind of cool. But then, like, if you wait till the very end of the credits, you can hear breathing. So obviously they're leaving it open-ended. Like, there was a way for him to have gotten out, which is going to be really weird how they're going to, like, pull that off. The only thing I can think of is, like, Jamie Lee Curtis is possibly willing to do another one. Because I really thought that at the end of this one, it would be her trying to sacrifice herself possibly to make sure he was dead, and that they would finally kill her off the right way. But the way that they showed him escape and get away, I'm thinking now that maybe she is interested in doing, like, one more. Which she should. Like, she was, like, top notch, like, perfect in this movie. And, I don't know. I'm really glad I got to see it. So I'm not gonna make this too long. This has just been like a little short review. If I think of something crazy or something that I feel like really needs to get put up, it was definitely worth the wait. I 100% recommend you see it if you are a Halloween or horror fan. And it's awesome to know that they did it already with H2O, but this actually, to me, does make sense as the progression of the story. Because originally I was thinking to myself, like, why the fuck would she stay in Haddonfield if she's terrified of this man? And then it makes sense. She wanted him to find her. And that makes a lot of sense. All right, well, if you want to know more of my opinions, leave some questions in the comments. Like I said, I might come back and revisit, like, a review more, like, at the house in my shop. But for now, I think this will do it. Have a good one. Later.